Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is where do you go when you fall asleep at night? So I did a video like this a while ago. It was like all the way back in 2021, I think. And when I did it a while ago, it kind of went a completely different way than I wanted it to. But brought through some really cool messages. So I really wanted to visit this again, more in like that dreamlike realm, tap into the astrals and really see what's going on in your dreams, where you're going, where your soul's going. And yeah, just basically seeing if we can get any information about that. I love these readings a lot. They make me very happy and I love to just download and get loads of information. I learn a lot from these readings as well. So very excited to do this. So this was, I did a poll that had this and two other kind of celestially dreamy type of topics, and this one won. So that's why we're doing this one today, but I will get around to doing the other two. It's just when I looked at my notes, I had all three of them, which kind of are in the same subject, I guess, one after the other, and I like to keep everything diverse. So I thought I'd pick one first, and you guys chose this one and I'm excited. So let's get straight in. So pile number one, you guys have the shell. Pile number two, you guys have the lapis lazuli. Pile three, you have the orange calcite. In pile four, you have the green aventurine. Green aventurine heart. So see which crystal you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box below, and I'll see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile one, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at where your soul goes at night and what goes on in the astral realms and beyond when you go to sleep. So you guys chose the shell. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle card. So let's get straight in. So pile number one, please, spirit guides, can you tap me into the collective of my pile number ones currently, where you're currently at in your incarnation. I think there's a lot of healing taking place when you're asleep. I'm being shown not just you, but maybe your spirit team surrounding your physical body and doing a lot of clearing out, it feels, and healing, taking away certain negative energy that doesn't need to be there. There's a lot of light being sent to you. That's what I'm picking up. Like, I'm being shown you sleeping, and then there's like you, and then there's like other beings around you, bright light colors like turquoisey green and blues, that sort of aura around you. And then there's just like a lot of light being sent to you that's almost holding you and soothing you. It could just be right now where you're currently at. You could be purging a lot, so that's happening. But I also feel like that tends to happen every now and then. I think that you're very focused on this current incarnation. Now, with our souls, we're multidimensional, so there's so many incarnations that we have at so many different time periods, but there's something about this particular incarnation, there's a lot of focus on it. I almost feel like there's something big going on, or there's like something grand, or it's like I've been working towards this. Like there's something about something that's going on in your life currently, or something that's going on in this incarnation, that there's a big focus. And you know what, I'm gonna say it, I tend to find when I tap into a lot of people in the incarnations that are now, and like now, if this makes sense, like where we're all currently manifested into this reality at this time period, because there's so much going on Earth. There's so much going on the timelines on Earth. There's a lot of, like, you know, ascensions happening, people waking up. There's a lot of people working through a lot of karma, and it's very heightened right now. So I do tend to find there's a lot of focus. But I think for you guys, it's like we're making sure things are being cleared out, making sure the path's a little bit smoother where we can, where we're able to do so. So there's a lot of healing being sent your way that you're fully aware of and participating in while you are asleep. Pile number one. I'm also being told you are watched over while you sleep. Like, I'm being told for you guys, you may specifically lucid dream a lot. I almost feel like your soul, it's like your energy goes into your subconscious while you sleep and creates realities around it to trigger emotions and feelings to help you release in your sleep. So while that's happening, I do feel like there's a protection around you while you sleep. You can, of course, add in, night routines where you are protected when you sleep, keeping certain crystals around you, Florida water, maybe just setting the intention when you go to sleep. You can do that to add to it, but I do feel like spirit's around you a lot while you sleep, because it's almost like, right, I'm still physically here, but energetically I'm going to, in dream state, manifest into this reality where I am in a connection where something is triggered within me, and it could be a fear triggered in me, or hurt or pain triggered in me, because it's deep rooted. And then when I wake up, I'll feel it really strong, and it'll be in my conscious mind then, and then I can work through it. So there's a lot of that goes on. I think you guys are my lucid dreamers, or you just have very vivid dreams, and I think you guys remember your dreams more than most, because there's a lot of messages. And I think sometimes even when sometimes when the dream doesn't make sense, I'm being told there's two things that you can use to kind of like decode the dream. One, think of cryptic things that are said in dreams to you, and really think about that. Or think of, like, sometimes I'm being told you will be shown like a random symbolism, and it's very vivid and it means something. So like you could see a moth really vividly, or you could see a leaf very vividly, and you're aware that it's like a eucalyptus leaf, and then you Google it and then it has healing properties for X, Y, and Z, and then you realize that's what you're healing. So there's symbols or sayings said to you that will stand out, or there's feelings. Like, think about when you first wake up and that dream you had, what's it making you feel? Because I think that you do a lot of triggering in the astral realms and living out that. You're very busy, you're a busy bee, right, when you sleep. There's a lot of triggering in the astral realm so that you can remember it when you wake up. That's another thing I'm being shown. Pile number one. Where do my pile number ones go at night? Where do pile number one's souls go at night? Yeah, Three of Swords. You may have a lot of dreams where you'll end up, let's say, back in a relationship with an ex, or in a relationship with someone that reminds you of an ex, and it's because you are living out maybe that same connection, but there's a feeling that maybe you buried, so you're living through that reality in your dream where maybe that feeling of hurt comes up again, but it's not permanent. It's not happening in the physical reality where you have to go through that whole karmic cycle again. It's just the remnants being brought up through the astrals, but you're still living it in the astrals, and then it's helping you release. There's a lot of that. I think your soul really uses the earthy experience to its depth. It's like you're kind of like a realm walker like that. Sometimes souls will incarnate and be like, I'm just going to incarnate. Maybe I'll be a bit open to my intuition, and maybe I'll be open to X, Y, and Z. But other than that, we're just going to keep it on the earthy realm level, the 3D level. We'll leave it there. Whereas other souls, they'll be like, and there's no better or worse. It just depends on what the soul wants to do in that incarnation. But your soul's like, yeah, so I'm going to be in this realm, but then I'm also going to be in this realm, and then I'm going to go to sleep, and then I'm going to create a reality there where I'm going to call in a couple of souls that I've had experiences with in this lifetime, and we're all going to play out in the reality I'm manifesting in my dreams, this situation where fear is brought up for me, because then I can deal with that fear when I wake up and find my safe space. So I'm going to utilize every single area of this life to maybe even an extreme form, so that I can get the best of the experience, learn from the experience, and there's a big emphasis on healing and getting rid of old wounds. So you may be clearing a lot of karma in this lifetime, whether it's past life karma or your family line, and I think it would have been very there was a reason you incarnated, is what I'm trying to say. That's why there's such a focus on the healing aspect. Pile number one. Where do my pile number ones go at night? Where do pile number one's souls go at night? 8 of Cups. Pile number ones. Where do my pile number one's souls go at night? 2 of Wands. Where do pile number ones? Where do my pile number one souls go at night? The Hierophant. And you guys have the Knight of Wands at the back of the deck, which I'm going to keep here right in the middle a second. Okay, Eight of Cups. There's so much clearing going on when you sleep. I feel like you guys, especially currently at the moment, because you could find you come back to this video and it's different and you're drawn to a different pile, because it could just be a strong focus at the moment. But however, the Eight of Cups, I think that you guys are really releasing, and I think that right now when you're waking up, you're probably feeling either really tired, or you're like, why am I dreaming and thinking about this? Why am I dreaming and thinking about that? And you could also feel like you put something to bed 10 years ago, and then you're waking up and thinking about it, and you might not even remember the dream, but in the dream, that current situation was being played out again, so that those feelings could arise. So you may be thinking back to past friendships, past connections, past family members, or certain situations that are being brought into your awareness. And I see you guys, you really feel the effects the next morning. I see some of you guys really wanting to like lay in and stay asleep, and you may even wake up at certain times of the night and then feel like really, really wide awake, because you've just been like in a whole other reality, that it's just like boom, you're in the, like, there's such a weird I feel like your dreams are so like hectic at the moment. Like I feel like the dream state and the astral realm is really hectic for you at the moment. I almost feel like you're in your physical life, you're probably thinking, why is everything moving so slow? I feel like I'm just like falling back. I feel like I'm just so tired and I don't want to do anything. And it's like, yeah, because in the astrals, it's like you're poking the bear so that when you wake up, you can really feel the irritation of being poked at night, so you can really like feel into these emotions. And I know it's probably frustrating, but there's a reason for it. There's a method to the madness. And I think sometimes as well, you wake up and you feel extra connected to spirit, or you feel extra hearty. Like you may be feeling very zigzaggy at the moment. Like you're not realizing how much you're clearing in dream state. You're waking up and having these heart expansions and feeling very romantic. And it's like, where did that come from? And it's like, because we just finally got rid of that final layer to reveal your heart space to you, or we just got rid of that fear to reveal your need for maybe adventure, or your need to be in the present. So it's very there's a lot going on, pile one, a lot going on. Two of Wands and the Hierophant. Two of Wands and the Hierophant. There's such an emphasis right now. I think life's about to start. I'm being shown a page turning. Things are going to start getting a lot more hectic in your everyday life. I think you might be speeding towards a career change, a career shift, relationship shifts. You may be open to welcoming somebody in. You may be preparing for that internally. Or you could just be ready to come out of a cocoon phase. And I think maybe that's why there's a focus. It's like, let's clear this out once and for all. There's a strong focus on healing from your soul level. It's like, we need to, you know, let's turn the page. I want to turn the page. Let's get rid of these restraints. It's reminding me of like the Christmas Carol. You know, like in the Christmas Carol, and like the three ghosts visit him, and he sees the past, the present, and the future, and he has his whole personality does a whole 360 the next morning. I feel like you may even feel like that sometimes. And when you think of in the Christmas Carol, the Jim Carrey version, and the ghosts have chains around their ankles and their wrists, because they're like chained to like pains and stuff from their everyday life. It's like you at night are like what's his name, Scrooge, and you're like cutting the chain so you don't have to live with that kind of karma, and you can wake up and, you know what I mean, buy that big turkey and go celebrate Christmas with your family and get the big turkey for Tiny Tim. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it feels. If I could put it into words, it feels really beautiful. And your soul is very much like helping you clear like that. I also think as well in the astral realms, I'm getting a lot of movie symbolism. You may in REM state, or REM state, I don't know, but I say REM state, but I think it's REM. I think that you get a lot of like aha moments, or really beautiful messages come through, or visitations from past over loved ones, or even souls that you might not physically recognize but energetically you do, because they might have been like a sibling in a past life or something, because you are looked after. Like, there's a lot of love, and it's almost like there's a lot of information being passed to you, or like little bits of tips passed on to you, or it's just your soul collecting the information and passing it through your higher self. Because it's, when I was seeing like movie scenes and being taken to the scene with Dumbledore from Harry Potter, and he has to keep drinking this liquid to get this locket, and Harry has this shell and he keeps, you know, filling it up with liquid and making him drink it. And I almost see that, like your soul kind of bringing energy and, you know, healing messages from the cosmos, like the higher self, the higher realms, and then almost like feeding it to you energetically. Maybe that's what that white light was, because I almost feel as well like you're waking up and getting strong downloads, or you're waking up and looking at life a little bit differently, and you might not have come to a conclusion. It's just like you wake up with a different set of eyes, and that's because as much as you are releasing, you're being topped up with. When we clear energy, we do soul retrievals, we do any sort of past life clearing, anything like that, we have to return the energy that was lost, cleared, where it was before all that karma took place. We have to give that back, otherwise we're left with kind of holes in our energy. And I think that's happening, and I think that's where you're getting your aha moment. So there's clearing where you're feeling fatigued, and then there's an outpour of energy being brought to you, or aha moments, or psychic gifts coming through, or little messages and nudges coming through, and heightened states of awareness coming through, because that's where your energy is being returned to you. And sometimes it might take a minute for you to settle into it. So you may wake up and feel like you're in a daydream. You may wake up and feel a little less grounded. You may wake up and just kind of not recognize your surroundings in a way. It's like you may feel like you've grown out of your shell. And I'm being told, when you do feel like that, dance, move your body, whether it's just working out in the gym or just dancing, moving around, moving your body in a way where the energy can move around, because you know, when we clear energy and we allow energy to integrate, a lot of people will use rattles, you know, to kind of let that sink in and integrate into our being, and I think that's something you're being called to do, is just move your body, allow it all to flow through your body. When you feel like that, there's a lot going on for you guys, a lot going on. But I do feel like there's a lot of wisdom being passed through from your elders, I'm being told. Again, souls that may have passed over in this life. Your spirit team are around you pretty strong. Like, there's almost like a need. It's like, I want to focus on this right now because something's coming up and I want to be open to it, or I want to be ready to it. It's like like, not that, because spirit don't look at things like deadlines, but I almost just feel like energetically, it's like, I want to be able to be here and be in this energy when the time comes. Or it could even be just like, I've been in this phase for a while now, I'm ready to let the light in, sort of thing. So it's not like a frustrated feel of like, we need to get this out, we need to get this out, we need to heal, it's not that. It's more so, I came here to do this, let's do it once and for all, it's time to let the light in. That's how it feels. You may be feeling that in the physical as well. So let's pull some more cards. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. My house feels very quiet today because Luna's gone to the vets. She's in the vets, having her surgery. You know, the womb thing. I don't know what it's called. I think it's called spay. I don't know. So I've let the other 3 cats out, and my house feels very quiet. I'm not gonna lie to you. Even though my cats still come in to do their business, because for some reason they don't go outside. They go outside and then come in, do their business, and go back out. It doesn't really make sense to me. But other than that, my house is very quiet today, and I miss Luna very much. I don't know why I'm telling you. Just wanted to say it out loud. I miss her. And I miss Jaspy too, because he's normally by my feet. And he's out. Pile number 1. What do my pile number 1s get up to at night? What do their souls get up to at night? What are my pile number 1s doing at night? do my pile number ones get up to at night? Water, expression. And I love that you chose the seashell as well, because the water connects to our emotions. And I think right now you're clearing a lot. And of course, water heals, water cleanses. And I think right now there's so much clearing going on. And water holds memories as well. You may get a lot of water symbolism in your dreams, but water holds memories, and I almost feel like there's a lot of memories and feelings being brought up and being felt right now. 100%, but there's a lot of clearing going on. And you're also being soothed in your sleep. We have insect support, yeah. I feel like souls that you've had incarnations with in this life, even people that like, you may think, oh, I'm never speaking to that person again, I don't like that person. On a soul level, yeah, okay, it may be contracted for you and this person to not be speaking, and you might not want this person in your life. However, you may be super close with that person on a soul level. So I see you guys bringing in souls that you're close with from other lifetimes as well as this one, and you're experiencing incarnations with them. You're experiencing like these lifetimes in your dreams. I hope that makes sense. You're manifesting into realities together to help you cleanse. Like there's a lot of support there. I think a lot of people are helping you clear things, even people that maybe you don't speak to. They're like, I feel like you're calling out to them, like, let's manifest into this reality and let's trigger this and let's work through this. I see a lot of help around you. A lot of that. Like, you're really supported. There's a lot of love around you. Pile number... Some of you guys may see your pets in your dreams as well. If you have pets, you may find they're around you at night a lot. I feel like they help you cleanse down. We have Drum, Awaken, and Staff Foundations. On the back of the deck, we have Solitude. It's like you're living 100 lifetimes in your dreams, and then you're wondering why when you're waking up you're not feeling like you're living, but it's because you're clearing so that your life can speed up then physically, and then you can live 100 lifetimes in life. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can live that in life, and then you can then start to rest when you sleep. That's kind of what I'm picking up, to be honest with you. Drum, Awakening, Foundations. It's very noisy outside today. It's such a journey you're going on in your dreams. It's like when we go into other realms and we journey to other realms and we clear past lives and we clear, we do soul retrievals, we, remove energies and parasites from our frequency and stuff like that. It's a whole journey that we go on. I hope to elaborate on that soon, but I feel like you're naturally just doing that, energy clearing, that work of, I guess, a shaman. You're kind of doing that in your dreams. It's a kind of like a constant cycle that you guys are on right now. And you're doing it for yourself too. That's really powerful, by the way. Especially if you have no experience like physically in this lifetime with clearing energy and whatnot. I feel like you have in other lifetimes for you to be able to be clear in this. It's really beautiful. And because you're filling then that void with new frequencies and new energies, you're laying a new foundation for this physical reality, for you to kind of let life speed up in this physical reality, which is really beautiful. So let's pull your final cards. Pile number 1. Pile number 1, these spirit guides. What do my pile number 1s go at night? What are my pile number 1s doing at night? Communication, co-creation. This is literally what I'm seeing when you sleep. You have spirit around you helping you heal 100%. But then I also feel, again, like I said, I think that you're in communication with souls from other lifetimes and this one, that kind of show up in your dream state to help you release and heal and become aware of things. that's definitely what you're doing. You're not alone at all when you sleep. I think spirit's around you a lot. And then I think that in dream state, it's like, it's almost like, it's reminding me when I was like in college and we couldn't get into one of the rooms because the teachers would have the key, and then a bunch of us would have to like wait outside, and then we'd have to wait for the teacher to come in and open with the key. It's like I see like a cluster of energies just waiting, and just kind of observing, and then you kind of like fall asleep, and then energetically it's like, right, let's manifest into this realm so we can have this dream like reality where you trigger this and you trigger that, and then you just go into it, experience those feelings. So like they're waiting for you to come and like unlock the door sort of thing, if I have to put it into a physical 3D image for you, and then you kind of just go in and experience and clear. And you could be doing that as well, like paying favors for other souls as well, but I do feel like there's a strong emphasis with you at the moment that's being cleared. But I do feel like you may be doing that for other souls as well and helping them work through, especially if you feel you have like an energetic cord to someone. It may be for the other person too. Pile number one, what are my pile number ones doing at night? What is their soul doing at night? Pile number ones. Unique gifts. Look how her mind's opening up to information. Love that. And then there's healing here taking place in the heart space. Unique gifts. That's what I meant about psychic gifts clicking, because it's like there's more information, there's more of your pure like soul energy coming through once you release. So you're releasing through the heart space, because I think that's why you choose to kind of let go. And then I think that's where all the downloads and information comes from then. And the eyes are very focused on here. I think that you almost wake up looking at life with a fresh set of eyes, or not feeling connected to what's around you. Yeah, you may even have dreams as well where you just like see your home in a completely different way. Like your sofa will be in a different position, your TV will be in a different position, and it's like almost an information like, you know, of like feng shui, like you should put your, you know, this would work for your energy if you moved your home like that. So pay attention, like if you see, you know, something like that physically as well, because there's little messages that come through. So like you could see a plant, and it could be that that plant would really help you clear some energy or work through some energy. So it's like that's why that plant's being referenced for you to bring it into the physical. Or you may see a crystal, or you may see a country, or you may see again a lamp, like anything like that, or like a style or something to bring in, or a food. And there's a reasoning for that as well, especially when it's very evidently placed for you to remember it. Yeah, I think there's a lot going on in your dreams currently. And then we literally have water again. So we have water twice, and then we literally have the shell that you guys chose, the overflow. Look at that. There's so much healing going on right now in your dreams. There's so much emotion and memories being brought up for you right now to clear. I really do think you're a busy bee. And what's quite interesting is we have the 2 and 1, which adds up to 3, which is connected to Jupiter, which is talking about this expansion energy. We have 1 and 2, which again adds up to 3, Jupiter expansion. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of newness coming, and that's why it's being cleared and it's being poured back into you, alchemized and pure, you know? I love that. So pile number 1, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at where you go when you sleep. Where do you go at night? So keep your minds open. We are just going to see what comes through. It could tend to focus on the dreams. It could focus on literally other worlds you're going to, or places you're going to. Yeah, we're just going to see what comes through basically. So you guys chose the lapis lazuli. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get straight in. So pile number 2. I just should consult in the Akashic records. So you may find sometimes either your dreams are really weird and you just can't make sense of them, or you don't dream at all. But you do dream, I guess, but it's like blocked out for a reason. with this lapis lazuli crystal and you guys being very connected to your third eye and your crown chakra and your soul star chakra, it's like when you go to sleep at night, you download your own Akashic records. You will, it's not just this incarnation you're focused on. I think that there's a lot of incarnations that you almost review, and it's like you help each incarnation out with the information that you're getting from each incarnation. Hear me out. Our soul is multidimensional. Time isn't linear. So when we incarnate, we will project into a reality. So think of like an octopus projecting its tentacles out. There's about 8 different tentacles. Now, obviously, there'll be more parts of us that are projecting out, but when we manifest into a reality that's a piece of our true selves, that's a slither of our higher self, and we project that piece of consciousness out. But because time isn't linear, we could have an incarnation right now on Earth and then an incarnation right now on Earth in ancient Egypt, in ancient China, in ancient India. They're happening simultaneously, but obviously on Earth time looks linear, so it looks like there's 800 years apart, but there isn't. Now, what you're doing, I feel, is tapping into your Akashic records and your lifetime here, there, and everywhere. Now, it doesn't have to just be on Earth. This can be other realms, this can be other worlds, this can be other realities. You're tapping into those realities too, and you're almost reviewing in a way that I can make it make sense with the physical eye. Think of it like you are a manager of 5 different companies and you're reviewing them. You're sitting there at night with your pen and paper and you're reviewing, you're watching the stats, you're looking at the money that came in, you're looking at, the spring season and the summer season and what's new coming out. You're reviewing them, you're looking at the mistakes, of the day before and X, Y, and Z. You're looking at that and you're helping, you may find out a new creative outlet or a new way to advertise in one part of your business, so then you use that for the other part of the business, and you may have fallen short on one side, on one area, so you use that wisdom to not let that happen in the other area. So you're very, very focused on reviewing and helping out and sprinkling that wisdom through. So I see a lot of memories being played back. Now, the reason you may have dreams where you may feel like I didn't dream, it's a kind of a fog from last night. The reason you have that, it's not because you didn't dream. You were reviewing so much information, your brain wouldn't have been able to hack it. And that's not saying, oh, you're not strong enough to hack it. The most enlightened guru on earth would not be able to bring through certain information like that in this 3D realm. Because sometimes when we're looking at lifetimes that are in higher dimensions, it's not going to make sense at all for the physical brain. It's not going to make sense for our human eyes. You know what I mean? Even when we bring information through, it has to fit to make sense to us in this human way. So it could almost act as a curse more than a blessing. To know certain information or to see certain things, because you might not just be able to make sense of it at all. It could unroot you completely. It could just be things you don't need to know or really need to see. It just wouldn't make sense. So there's almost like a block there, but the information still feeding through that you might need to know, even if you can't visually see it or hear anything. You know what I mean? It's still downloading. So there's a lot of that going on. I also see that some of you guys may act as a spirit guide for people that incarnate on Earth or other places. So I also see that memories you're obtaining and wisdom you're obtaining it through other people as well. And memories you're obtaining might not be yours. They could be other people's that you are viewing and watching. And you may even be taking on and helping them clear, because there's almost like a guidance there. So I think there's a lot of that going on for you guys, which is quite interesting. So let's pull some cards. Pile number 2. Where do my pile number 2 souls go at night? Where do my pile number 2 souls go at night? We have the Star. Where do my pile number 2 souls go at night? Where do my pile number 2's souls go at night? 8 of Wands. Where do my pile number 2's souls go at night? Knight of Cups. Where don't your souls go at night? That's what I'm hearing. 4 of Cups reversed. And you guys have the Queen of Cups, which I might need to cover up. Keep it appropriate, Yes, you have the Queen of Cups at the back of the deck. I just see you taking in a lot of information, downloading a lot of information. I also see as well you'll okay, the energy of Earth and the frequency of Earth is constantly shifting. The vibration on Earth is constantly shifting. There's so much being downloaded and so much being revealed to us through Mother Gaia herself, through, you know, the tides and the water coming in. That really does affect us, and that helps bring certain vibrations in and certain frequencies in. I see a lot of you guys really stabilizing into that energy, and almost helping anchor it in through your own physical body. I feel like you feel the shifts on Earth a lot, where you may feel very fatigued, or you may feel very super connected to spirit and getting lots of downloads. You may have a strong urge from a heart space to help out X, Y, and Z. You may know of certain events before they happen. You may feel the grief of certain events around the world before they even happen, and you don't know why you're grieving, and then you find out like a week later that something's happened, and you just feel this, your grief is kind of validated, but it's like, how would I have felt that beforehand? I think that you are very tapped into the Earth's Akashic records. You may have had a lot of lifetimes on Earth, but I think that you also are just very tapped into that. You may be currently living in lifetimes in what we would call the future as well. But for you, it's like they're happening simultaneously. So you're very aware of certain things that shift. You're very aware of certain frequencies that change. You're very aware of it because it's downloaded. You're constantly tapping into your Akashic records and downloading that information through. It's like you're constantly updating. Think of it like the iPhone's always bringing out a new iPhone with better technology, and it, you know, it's a brand new one every year. It's like you're constantly doing that. You're constantly downloading. You're constantly going into the Akashic records and finding information out. So when the Earth starts taking its shift, you're aware of it. You may have very prophetic dreams when you do dream. Yeah, because you may find you have dreams of kind of like apocalypse type dreams, natural disaster type dreams, and you may think, oh, it's going to happen now. Could be that, you know, you're tapping into it around the world. There could be information coming through about that, but also you may be downloading information from like 1,000 years ago, before history was even recorded. You're remembering it. It's playing out in like a dreamlike state, so you're remembering it in your own physical reality where it looks like present day, and you are downloading that information through from back in the day. Could be like incarnations back, Lemurian times, Atlantis times, you know, times like that, and you're seeing it unfold because you're remembering that memory from the Akashic records. But I also see you're doing this future wise as well. And I'm being taken specifically to Earth. So you may have other incarnations on Earth when there's a lot of shifts going on, certain things happen, and you may see certain things. But if you see certain things, I feel like there's a reason you're seeing them, because I feel like your soul's like, if I have to put it into a physical way to make it make sense, like shutting doors, like, right, let's shut the blinds, shut the blinds, shut the blinds. And then it's like, you know what? I'm not going to shut that blind. I'm going to remember that when I wake up, because I think I'm going to need that. I think I might need to talk about that. I think I might need to bring that into people's awareness, or I might need to be fully aware of that and integrate it so I can see the patterns in that incarnation. I'm going to keep that open. And I think that you have a lot of a very prophetic dreams because of that, or you have a lot of very distinct, like I'm being shown like a volcano erupting, and it's very distinct in the way it's happening, and it could be that you're tapping into something in a completely different incarnation, but there's something to it. You're being told to remember it for some reason, and I'm being told to like let you figure out the rest. But I think you get a lot of dreams like that as well. Yeah, it's really interesting. And I'm also being told some of you may get dreams where you're looking at writing or numbers or symbols in a foreign language, and you're like, well, what would that mean? It was in a completely different language, but your soul remembers what it means. So what it means is being downloaded. So you may have like a new piece of information and you don't know where it came from, but it's connected to that random page in a different language, or that person speaking in a different language. that thought and you don't know where it came from, or that understanding of something, you don't know where it came from that person saying it. I hope that makes sense. I hope that patched something up for someone. I know that may sound a bit confusing if that wasn't for you, but that's coming through as well. But so much information coming through. I really want to know what this Four of Cups is though. What's the Four of Cups about? And it's reversed as well. I think when you see parts of your dreams is to help you see clearer about your everyday life. It's to help you see the world a lot clearer. It's helping you piece a puzzle together without giving you the full story, because then what would be the point in incarnating? I think that the dreams that you have are just super significant. It's giving you, you're being handed a piece of information. Yeah. Because the fact that you have this Knight of Cups here and then this Queen of Cups, it's like you're downloading, there's information being received. There's knowledge being received. With water, with the Cups energy here, it's memories. Water holds memories, so you're tapping into that. You know what I mean? Really, really interesting. But I feel like dreams in other realities, I don't think you'll remember them too much. Or you'll just have weird... if you do remember certain things from other realities, I feel like it'll come through in a very 3D way where it might not make sense. I'm being told to explain it in a way. I was in REM state, and I was in a world where I was there on my own, and it looked like Earth, but it wasn't Earth, because I knew that it wasn't Earth because I could feel that it was, and the sky looked completely different, and I could see auras of all the trees, but the trees didn't look like trees, they looked different, but I knew that they were what that realm's trees would look like if I had to compare. And I kept seeing rainbows like on the floor, everywhere. There was just rainbows everywhere, and even the birds look different, flowers look different. The feeling felt different. My physical body there felt different, and I was just kind of observing it in a dreamlike state. And I take that personally as I was maybe tapping into the frequency of that realm. I have no idea what that world was or that realm, but when I woke up, I felt very good. I almost felt like my energy had been flushed. So I take that as I had tapped into that frequency to bring it into my current everyday. So when you see symbols like that, or people that don't necessarily look like people, or realms, or a snippet of something, and you're like, oh, that doesn't make sense. It might not, for the eyes, the physical eyes, make any sense, but energetically it's a frequency you're bringing back. It's a memory, or it's something that you may not be able to put two and two together, but your soul knows what it's about. That's if you get very weird. I'm being shown dolphins speaking to me, so you may be connected to like Atlantean times. I always like to think of like Mintakan energies when I think of like the whales and the dolphins, and Pleiadian energies as well. So you may be connected to those realms and those places, and yeah, there's a lot of that coming through. You may even have animals speaking to you, and you're thinking, why was a dolphin speaking to me in my dream last night in its language? And I think you were taking messages in, and it may be like so out there for you, but it's like, I see a lot of that. I see a lot of that. Anything else before I get into the oracle cards? Is there anything else to pull from these cards before I continue? I just, you know, the Miranda scene from, what's it called? The Devil Wears Prada. And she's like, that's all. I just heard that, that's all. I think it's Miranda anyway. Okay, so pile number 2. Pile number 2. What are my pile number 2's souls up to in other realms? Oh, okay. We have crystals, amplification. We have medicine wheel, continuation. Abundance. In a very 3D way, I just see you like reviewing a memory from like a life that's also happening and going, I could really use that in my earthly realm where I'm existing in 2023. I could really use that. That would really help me. I'm going to bring that through. I don't know how, but I'm going to bring that through. And then you just wake up and you just see a snail and you're like, what on earth is this? Like a multicolored snail. And you're like, why am I seeing a multicolored snail? But it's like, it's the best your 3D brain can do to bring an observation of something, but it has a frequency attached to it that you kind of download, while your logical brain is like, what on earth is a multicolored snail doing in my dream? You know what I mean? Like, it's quite funny that. So you have abundance as well. Pile number 2. Oh. Pile number 2. What do my pile number 2 souls get up to at night? What? Oh my god, your cards are running away, I'm sorry. Okay, pile number 2. What are my pile number 2s up to at night? Dreamweaver, accessibility. Yeah, you're accessing your Akashic records. So many memories being downloaded. I think you get a lot of deja vu as well. Especially when it comes to worldly events. It's like, and I see you guys going, I thought that already happened. Like a Mandela effect. Like I see something really big happening and you're like, I swear that happened like a year ago. Because it feels like a year ago in your brain. You downloaded it maybe a while ago, or maybe you witnessed it in the ethers like 6 years ago, but it's now playing out in earthy time and you're like, oh, but you thought it happened because you remembered it happening back then. I see a lot of that. Or like someone like even from your area may go on a trip somewhere, or they could even like pass away, and then you're like, I swear they left a long time ago, like, or I swear they ascended like 5 years ago. I'm sure of it, but because you brought that information in. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. We have the middle world, the present. I think that your soul as well, when you do wake up, I think that your soul wants you to focus on the present, because it's like, that's how I learn when you're taking on information from here. When you observe the consciousness of a plant, when you feel happy around certain people, when you learn lessons, it's like, because it's there, it's your higher self, so it's like you learning through it. It's like, that's how I'm going to attain the information and grow and ascend, so I want to experience this. And I think that it's almost like, let's not focus too much on the other realms while I'm here. Like, if I need to seed information through from those other realms, I will. It's that sort of thing. So yeah, right, so that's the middle world. Let me just check this quickly. Okay. Are we straight? Are we focused? Okay, crystals, amplification, continuation, medicine wheel, abundance and accessibility, amplification. I think that you may wake up at random times in the night and just be like sat in a downloading stage. Like, I'm literally being shown somebody like woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, full of vibrancy, sitting there going, I realize a pattern in the energy on earth right now. Like, you guys are like philosophers, I feel, because I just see you sitting there like, I see how this relates and this relates to each other, and I understand the frequency of this. And it's like you're just downloading and thinking about it. You may speak out loud as well, so it's like this and this and this and this, and you're bringing it together, and it's like, I understand what that religion was for and the core of that religion and where it came from and what the true message of that is. Like, it makes more sense to me now. And I think there's so many downloads about little things like that. It's really interesting. Or like, I'm being shown a lot of what you would call past life memories as well, and it's like you're seeding that information through, and it's like, I get it. Like, that particular incarnation that happened on earth, and now something similar is happening like this, and now I can see that pattern. Maybe we need to work through that pattern collectively. Or back in the day we did this, maybe we need to start bringing that back, because it obviously had us very connected, and now we're not as connected. Maybe we need to bring that back. So you're really feeding the right things through, very much so. And that's what I'm getting with these two cards together with the crystals, because it's like crystals carry frequency. So you're bringing these messages, they almost act as crystals, amplifying a frequency for you because it's a memory that you can tap into and harness that frequency. With the medicine wheel here, continuation, it like helps you see beyond. And then abundance and accessibility. I feel like you're also aware. You may even view life years from now and be like, that's my highest timeline, let's jump onto it, for it to motivate you. Again, accessing the Akashic records and like, this is where we can go with this life, let's do it, let's go here. Or it could be that you see a more lower timeline and you're like, I don't want to reach that. That's ammunition to keep going and do this and this and that, you know. I see you guys seeing that a lot as well. But I almost feel the way that you bring information through, it's for the collective. So you may work bringing messages through for the collective. You may work doing healing for people. You may teach, write books, things like that. It could be that you download images and you put them into art or music. It could be anything. Or you just use them for whatever practice you do. But it feels collective. It's like soul mission type vibes for you guys specifically. Really, really interesting. Really, really interesting. So let's pull your final cards. Pile number... pile number 2. Oh, your card fell on the floor. Hang on. I just dropped a bunch of other cards on the floor. I'm so clumsy. Hang on. Well, the card that dropped is Evolution, which hasn't shocked me at all, because we're constantly evolving as human beings. We're constantly evolving as souls. We're constantly evolving as parts of energy together. And I think that what you remember at night, I think that your soul's very connected to the evolution of your own soul, the evolution of the collective. I think that's why you're so aware of all these different, you know, incarnations and bringing different information through. Like, this collective could use this, and I experienced it in this life, so I'm going to bring it through. Or this collective forgot about this frequency, but they're living in it really strong in that reality, so let's bring it through. Like, it's a lot, but it's, you're tapping into it for a reason. I think you're very focused on bringing a higher awareness. My ears are ringing. I think you get a lot of downloads, I think, without even realizing it. You'll be sitting there just driving and you're just downloading Akashic records. No big deal. I think your daydreams are as eventful as well as your sleep dreams. I think your daydreams are what your sleep dreams would be, if that makes sense. Like, you'd think that your dreams would be this, like, I feel like your daydreams, without realizing it, you're in another realm, but you view it in a very physical, third-dimensional way. And you don't realize that maybe you're working through things and being awake and conscious in different realms while you're daydreaming. You make it inspired by music or movies, and it's like, it's helping you make sense of this world and bring downloads through. And you'd think that that's what the dreams are for, but in your dream state, it's like you're somewhere else. You're to business. It's quite interesting to see. Pile number 2. Pile number 2's pile number 2's dreams. Where do pile number 2's souls go at night? Where do pile number 2's souls go at night? Endless opportunities. See how she's observing. Hang on a minute. See how she's observing. Focus, please, focus. See how she's observing all of the butterflies? I think that's literally, if I had to put it into a physical way, like, this is what your soul's doing. It's observing, and always looking forward for the better, and becoming aware of, like, this happened, how can we stop that from happening, and X, Y, and Z. It's really, really beautiful. I feel like your nighttime for you is fun. Nighttime for you is like, there's a lot that goes on. You may wake up like very full of information and ideas, or either that or just very fatigued and tired because you've just been non-stop. Really interesting. Let's take a look at your back of the deck. Water, the overflow. This is what I had for pile number 1 as well. Do you see how she's bringing that information through? And she's got the moon thing there, like the high priestess connected to the soul star chakra. She's bringing the information through, the overflow. And you see how all the other arms are present, all the other realms are present, and she's seeding that information through because each hand has water tapping into it. Yeah, making sure that everything is touched. And you see like the little lily pads with the shapes on them. It's like bringing that information through to all of the other realities you may be present in. Really interesting. And with the roses as well, it's like seeding information for it to bloom. Really beautiful. Love that. So pile number 2, that's what I had for you. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what your soul is up to at night. Where do you go when you sleep? So I'm going to keep it nice and open. The energy could choose to focus on dreams and the astrals and things that are playing out there, if that's a focus for you right now. Or we could be taking, you know, completely somewhere different where your soul literally visiting or going. So I'm going to see, I feel like you guys may astral travel a lot. I do see that for you guys because it's reminding me when I used to try and astral travel. I find when you try to, it doesn't work, and then when you're not trying, it does. It works then. But when I used to try, I'd imagine like a cord from my physical body, like me kind of like holding on to it like Hansel and Gretel, and then just like allowing my energy to lift. And that just reminds me of astral traveling. So I feel like you guys may do that a lot. I also feel like you guys have a gift of like remote viewing. Am I using this? Yeah. I feel like you guys have a gift of remote viewing where you can physically be here in this realm, and whether it's in a daydream or whether you're sleeping, you can just visit places. So it's like astral traveling, but I feel like you can really remote view and see things, like tap into a realm and just really see things, and observe things. I almost feel like you guys do that a lot. Some of you guys may have thought maybe this is lucid dreaming, but I don't feel that it is. I think that when you have dreams, they're very vivid, they're very intense, there's a lot of detail, there's a lot of color. I see you really going places specifically on Earth, and not just like on Earth but different realms, and viewing things and collecting information. Like I see a lot of that. Let's see what that's about. Pile number 3, please, spirit guides. What are my pile number 3 souls up to at night? The Star. Pile number 3. When I looked at the star card of the girl looking up at the star, I heard, I go home. So we'll see what that's about. Remember, our souls are multidimensional. I feel like you guys may have quite a few answers because I feel like you use the multidimensional essence to a high degree. Page of Cups. This one might be a bit here, there, and everywhere because I feel like I'm going to get a lot of different information through. Pile number 3. What are my pile number 3 souls up to at night? Two of Swords. And we have Justice. You may even have dreams, but you'll wake up and you'll feel like a dream, but I don't think it was a dream. I think it was you remote viewing and astral traveling. I think that your soul naturally, it almost feels like my mission and my energy is very focused on Mother Gaia, the frequency on Earth right now in this particular time period. I'm very focused on that. And I think that your soul is coming through to me as very heart based, and so is your current energy as well. I think that your soul, and even you in your waking life, is very connected to your the heart space, raising the frequency, sharing love, giving love, using love as a weapon. And when I say weapon, I don't mean it in a negative way, but using love to conquer. And I think your soul feels very adamant about that. Like, we're gonna raise the frequency, you know what I mean? I need to share love, I need to hold space. And I think that's why you incarnate. And I think that when I say with the star card and I hear I go home, I think that it's almost like I'm topping up fuel, if that makes sense. Like, where your soul originally like resides, it's very heart spaced. Everything's from the heart, everything's love. It's just love, and there's nothing else. And I think that when you incarnate here, you still hold that frequency, but that's where you tend to feel like a lot of pain in your waking life, because there's more frequencies than just love here. And I think your soul's very aware of that. And I really see for you guys with this remote viewing and this astral traveling, whether it's in this particular lifetime or you're going to different periods, it's all focused on Earth, what I'm seeing, or at least there could be realms very similar to Earth where you may be going as well. And I'm seeing you kind of like being called places to assist and being called places to review. So you may wake up to dreams that might not be very pleasant. And I want to say that, like, you may wake up to dreams where you witness something not very pleasant, or you see something not very pleasant. And I think that the reason when you wake up you remember it so strongly is because your heart is still there, because you've lent your heart in some way there. So you could have I'm even being shown your soul almost like assisting souls crossing over, holding space, holding frequency, similar to pile number 2 being a guide, a spirit guide to people. And I think your heart stays there in a way. I hope this makes sense, so that when you wake up you remember the memory of it. And there's maybe a lot of pain or a lot of grief, or you feel like you're mourning for somebody, or you feel this expansion in your heart space because you might have witnessed something in your dream that might not have been the best thing to see, but your soul would have been there to help a soul work through something. Or if like another soul was in danger and like on Earth and going through something, I see your soul there witnessing it. And maybe, you know, like, I know this may sound like really out there, but like, you know when people say I had like a gut feeling about something and something told me not to go to this place this day, and I had a gut feeling about something and I took the left way home instead of the right way home, and it ends up that them doing that saved their life or stopped them from falling prey to someone. There's almost like a feeling of that, like you guys almost guiding people and helping people like that and observing things. And I think that that's happening energetically, and then you're like, when you're waking up you're remembering it, because you may be my water pile because I pick up a lot of water and water holds memories. So I think that you're holding space for other souls that are transitioning or going through something. You're almost protecting souls, looking out for them. There's like a mother bear, father bear energy coming through. And then when you wake up in the morning, you're still super aware of what would have happened the night before. You either remember that intense dream or you just wake up with grief or a fear, and it might not be your own emotion, it's you taking on energy and helping somebody else pass through an emotion. It makes me feel like you are some sort of guide or a watcher over, if that makes sense, of certain souls. And there's a lot of souls that do that. You may even do that in your physical life as well, but I feel like on a soul level you guys do that. And I think a lot of the time I then see you guys cleansing your own energy, and it's like I'm returning to source, and I'm returning to my home space, and I'm returning to something that's familiar, which is making me feel like home with this 10 of Cups. And I'm pouring that energy back to me, and I'm reviving myself. So then you may find the next morning you wake up and you feel very full of love, and you have like a strong ammunition to like fight for people and help people and be there for people and listen to people. And it's because that energy is being returned to you then, and it's like you're topping back up that energy, and then your heart feels very open again. I hope that's making sense. I almost feel like you are some sort of guide, and I think that energetically where your soul may reside, there's a lot of it's so purely heart based You can see people's intentions from a mile off. I'm feeling everything around me. Everyone's a part of me. It's so collective. We're all full of love. It feels like that. So it's a much higher vibrational energy where you're coming from. And I think that you bring that wisdom and that collectiveness to earth, hold the frequency in your everyday life. And then I feel like at night you will look out for other souls at night. Whether you're tapping into a particular timeline on earth and helping people, or whether your energy is just being called somewhere, because again, it's collective, so it would be there's more than one of you, which means that maybe a lot of you watching this pile are from that same collective, and I feel like collectively you can feel an energy going somewhere. There could be something happening in, I don't know, Japan, and then all of your energies then go to Japan and maybe help souls cross over, help someone work through something, or help, that's how it feels like. I hope this is making sense for you guys. Another thing that I will say as well, sometimes because of the frequency on earth, your heart and your light can sometimes have you guys have blind spots, and I feel like you're very wise and your soul's very wise, so it's like the blind spots that you have in everyday life of maybe where there may be danger because you see a lot of love, or where you may not see somebody's intentions, or you may not see your finances dipping here or something like that because something may be happening that's low frequency. I feel like where there's blind spots, you get the information about it in dream state to prepare you. So like I said, your finances could be getting low. You're not realizing that that's coming because you're staying in a vibration of abundance. So you'll have a dream saying, be careful, money might be getting a little bit low, keep money aside, because it could be something you're working through karmically, or it's something you're learning, so it has to happen. So you have that kind of like message, you know what I mean, like, oh, my finances may be going a bit low, or it could be very similar to how you help other souls. It could be like, don't go on this route to work tomorrow, or don't trust this person. You may have a lot of psychic dreams where it's like someone's revealing their true self to you, or someone's revealing their true energy to you. And I think that that's again, your soul seeing from a higher perspective and bringing that information through. That's what I'm getting here with the Two of Swords and then the Page of Cups. I think that's where you get those messages through then, because I think you work with light, you work with love, and it's strong in you, and I think that though you're very settled into the earthy energy, and grounding into that earthy energy, I think that still certain frequencies, it's not something that you'd like expect. Like you wouldn't expect somebody to lie, or you wouldn't expect somebody to do X, Y, and Z, and I think in your dreams you get a lot of that revealed to you, because you're very looked out for. And I also think that, again, because I'm feeling a collective energy, like there's a lot of souls, I think that maybe, like, let's say you have another soul that you're very connected to, and they realize that you're about to go through something, you haven't seen it yet, they'll pass through that information in a dream state. I hope that's making sense. I think that it almost feels like soulmate. The reason I'm saying collectively is because the higher up I tend to go into the realms, individual souls cluster together to form one larger soul. When I tap into deities and energies that are grand, it's a cluster of souls together that have merged to form one big energy. And I think that that's how it's coming through you and a lot of other energies. It's like collective togetherness, and it's a very much a vibration of love. And then I think you individually incarnate to live these experiences, so you're all connected to each other's thought process and feelings and things like that. And I think that you may get information passed through where you might not see something, where there may be a blind spot of something happening. So I think that you guys will find you'll have premonitions about things happening before they do, especially connected to your own individual life, because it's like people like, hey, you know, like this is going to be happening, be aware of that, by the way. So I see that happening a lot. But I do see a lot of the time. And you know what it is? Similar to Pile 2, you'll be fully blown awake, and you'll also be remote viewing in daydreams. So like you could hear of like a case of something happening, and then naturally you just not like, you may be curious about it. So you're energetically heading there and remote viewing the situation to see maybe what went down. and looking at it from that way. So it's like, you may think it's just a daydream of you just pondering on something and maybe walking through a place, but it's like energetically you're doing it because you're very tapped into realms and your higher awareness. You're not just walking around on earth, I think that you are very highly attuned to the other frequencies and walking through different realms, 100%. I think that's why at the beginning I felt like a protection needed, whether that's crystals or just setting up a ritual in the morning to protect your energy, because I feel like you are here, there and everywhere, even in waking state. Very multidimensional, you guys, and you're very aware of that existence too. And with the Justice at the back of the deck, that's what I was explaining about you guys, like that strong need for justice, that strong need to bring love and power back to people. That strong, you may have a strong love for nature, animals, children. There's a lot of bringing the power back to people, bringing, you know, helping people connect to their heart space and spreading love. There's a lot of that. I think you lead with that a lot, which is really, really beautiful. And when I look at the Ten of Cups, I hear what's it called? It's a Victoria Monet song, and it's called Better Days. And she says, what type of life will our babies have if we don't get up and take a stand? It starts right here. It starts right now, with love and hope for better days. And obviously she's singing about wanting better days for the world. And it's almost like I'm looking at the blueprint of where my soul comes from, and I'm wanting to spread it here, to spread love here. There's this feeling of like they've forgotten their way. They are disconnected, but they don't realize. I think that song, All We Need Is Love, I'm hearing that, like, love, like, it's like wanting to spread it, like, that's how it feels. And it's like, I want to be there, I want to listen, I want to hold space. I feel like your soul's doing that. Like, you could have a job in everyday life where you listen to people and hold space, and you could be like a counselor, a therapist or something like that, or you could just be someone that naturally listens to people and wants to help. But I feel like on a soul level you do it a lot too. I'm seeing somebody being upset and crying and purging, and it's like you're there just listening and holding space and taking it on for them. And they're in the physical world and you're energetically there. I see a lot of that. You may have a lot of Aquarius in your chart. There's a strong Aquarian feel. Pisces as well. But more so Aquarian, I just feel like there's a strong unity that I see you guys having. And I see you being there for a lot of other souls. Even if that means sometimes waking up and not having the best dream or seeing something because your soul's recalling it. And I think even sometimes when you're like, I don't think I want to remember this in the morning, you energetically just remember it sometimes, or you remember the feeling because you, like I said, you are very attuned to different frequencies. You may work with energy very well, very much so. So let's pull some more cards. Pile number 3. What are my pile number 3 souls up to at night? Where do my pile number 3 souls go at night? Soul retrieval, reclamation. Pile number Dreamweaver, accessibility. And look at the different realms here. Similar to, I think it was pile 2. I think that you won't just incarnate and be like, I'm focused on the earthy realm. It's like, I'm going to tap into all the realms. I'm going to do that. I see you guys doing that a lot. Buried in earth, transference. One more card from this deck, please, Spirit Guides. Pile number 3. What are my pile number 3 souls up to at night? What are my pile number 3 souls up to at night? Water. Expression. And the back of the deck, you guys have past the lower world. The lower world is where we go to heal. The lower world is where we go to cleanse. It's like the healing world. It's where we go down to the roots of a tree, and when the tree isn't blooming, and the fruit isn't bearing from the tree, we go down to the lower world to see what's going wrong, and we cleanse. So it's the same with the human self. When we might not be feeling the best, or we may have a lot of restrictions, we go to our lower world, which is our subconscious, to see our roots and see what may be clogging it, and we work through it and we heal it. And I see that you guys do a lot of work there. I think that you have a very healing nature. I think that's a big reason why you incarnated, and I think that you very much so focus on healing yourself, going into the lower world of your own subconscious, but also Earth's lower world, Earth's subconscious. So it's almost like I'm looking at a grid on Earth, and I'm not looking at it with my eyes. I can feel, and I can see cords shooting up from everywhere, and this person's going through pain, and this person's going through that, and we want to raise Gaia's consciousness. So I'm energetically heading over to Norway, let's say. There's a big cord there and somebody's in a lot of pain. I want to go and help. So it's like I'm following that feeling with that cord, and I am sitting with that person who's just lost a parent, and I'm helping them grieve, and I'm taking it on, and I'm cleansing, and then I'm going back to my own source, my own collective energy, my home, and where I've just cleanse that energy and taken on that energy, I am then returning that energy to source. And then where my energy's gone out, I'm having myself kind of bathed and cleansed. My energy's coming back to me. I'm being revived. And then I'm back home, sort of thing. And I think that this doesn't just happen at night. It happens in your waking state too. I see a lot of that. I think your focus is very strongly focused on your mission. That's what we literally have here with soul retrieval. When we do soul retrieval, we go back to a time period when we were hurt, and we sit with that version of ourselves, and we allow that version of ourselves to show where we lost our energy, and we close it down, and we cleanse that energy, and we return it rebirthed. And I think you do a lot of that for people on Earth, a lot. I think you just naturally do it for yourself anyway. I do think, again, that collective energy in turn helps each other to cleanse as well. So I think that when you're going through things or something happens to you, I think collectively that energy comes to you too and helps you cleanse that as well. It's one of those things, it's a karmic thing. It's like you're helping out, so you're getting it returned. So I do think in your darkest moments as well, especially when you're sleeping, I think there's a lot of work being done around you to help you release, even in your waking moments when you're going through things. You may feel very alone, and it may be amplified for you because you're used to being more collectively connected. So on Earth, you may feel very lonely, but I'm being told spiritually and energetically, it's like an army of energy around you, and you're all very connected to each other's emotions like that. That's what I'm picking up. And a lot of you may be from the same pile. So a lot of you may be watching and have that same collectiveness coming through. And yeah, I see you guys going through the different realms with the Dreamweaver card. And with transference buried in Earth, it's like going into that lower world, cleansing, raising that frequency. I see a lot of that. And then expression water cleanses. It helps purify. So I feel like that's kind of what you do on a soul level. It's very beautiful. I was saying to Pal too, I went to... in one of my dreams, I was kind of like in REM state, and I visited a place. I'm only saying it because of the rainbow, and it may resonate with you guys. I went to a place, and I could only make it out from my own 3D eyes, but where I went, it was pure love. Nothing else there, just pure love. I didn't see anyone else, but I saw rainbows everywhere. And I could see the aura of everything. And even though I could see trees and flowers, they didn't look like Earth's trees and flowers. They looked very different. And there was just this aura of love everywhere. I don't know if that rings a bell for any of you guys, because I was seeing rainbows everywhere, all over the floor. They were like just everywhere. And I felt very at home, so I don't know if you guys would have maybe visited there, or if you feel in your heart space that resonates. It could be where you connect with on a soul level. It could not be, but I just thought I'd reference that. And look at all the water. Like, you have the water card here, you have the water here with the Page of Cups, you have the water behind the lady here, and then you have the water here, and underneath here you have water as well. So there's a lot of water here. I think you take on a lot of energy and transform it and cleanse. A very big universal togetherness. That you do return to a lot at night to top up your energy. My voice came out so weird then, but you top up your energy and cleanse your frequency, because I think that you deal with a lot of energy in your waking life and in your dream state as well. So we oh god, your card ran away, hang on. Am I using this? Yeah, manifestation or manifestia. So we have manifestia, and then I'm going to do one more this side. And we'll channel for them as well. Pile number 3. Your cards are running away, hang on. I thought we went the whole reading without me dropping a card on the floor, but it didn't happen. We have Internal Explorer here as well. Let's take a look here back at the deck. Luminescence. Look at her heart space there. More water again as well. Love that. Okay. So Manifestia. Internal Explorer. What have we got with Manifestia? I think that I almost feel like the way I would describe the way your soul's coming through, it's like a watcher, like a keeper. It's like I'm watching the gates of Earth, and I'm helping. It's almost like you're connected to Mother Gaia in a way, because it's like a collective energy, and I almost feel like there's like, imagine Earth having gates around it, and the realm we're all in having gates around it. I see you guys like observing, and then choosing to manifest and incarnate. I know this is bigger than just dream state, but this is what's coming through. Choosing to manifest and incarnate where there may be pain, to transmute it, because you're very good at alchemizing, and you can hold a strong frequency of light and love in very dark places. And then I also see you at night. It's like I'm returning to that observance. And like the star in the sky, when I'm saying the observance, I'm going up into the sky, and it's like a star looking down. And I'm looking down at Earth again, and at night I'm manifesting maybe into the dream state of people. I'm manifesting into, you know when, oh my god, okay. You know when people say that they were in danger, and they see someone that helped them, and then that person vanished? I saw someone that was, it was around the 9/11 time period, and the guy was going to go underground, and he heard a voice shout down to him and say, what did he say? Don't go down there, you'll get trapped. Now this is before they knew that the towers would fall, and the guy said, don't go down there, you'll get trapped. And they listened, they didn't go down. They ended up running out, and they survived. And they realized later on, looking back at the whole experience, if we would have got down there, we would have been trapped, because the towers would have fallen, we would have been trapped down there. And when they went back up, they never found who said that. They never heard who said that. And he said when he went to go down there was no one around. And you hear a lot of that. Like, I was walking down the street, and then someone came up to me and started speaking to me, and then someone who was following me finally left me alone. And then when I went to thank that person, they vanished. That's what I'm getting with this manifesting. You don't have to believe that if you don't want to, but if your heart resonates with it, take it on. If it doesn't, you can leave it. But I almost feel like your energy doing that for people. There's danger here, there's this here, let me manifest in. Or let me there's a guy here minding his business, and I know he'll be able to stop it. Let me energetically call him to turn right so he can stop this from happening, because if he's there, then that person's going to leave that person alone, and they'll be saved. Or it could just be you manifesting then physically and telling somebody to go a different way. Like, I see a lot of that, like helping out. It's really interesting. It's like a spirit guide sort of energy like that. But then I also see you helping souls cross over and things like that. And I think where you help souls cross over, you feel very connected to. So like, you could be very connected to a particular time period where something big happened, like an historical event, and it's because you've been there helping souls cross over. So you've tapped into that frequency before, you know it well. And you may even think, oh, maybe I had a past life there. And maybe sometimes you might have, but it could also be that your soul just chose to help. Because it's like an observing energy. And I think you manifest where you're needed, sort of thing, with manifestia and the back of the deck with the luminescence. It's like I manifest where I'm needed. Because you can see, like I was saying about the card here on the heart space. Very interesting. Why do we have Internal Explorer? Again, I'm being taken to like you guys doing a lot of, how do I explain it? You know, when you're healing deep wounds, I don't think you're just healing them for you. I think you're healing it, again, that collective essence coming through, but I think that you heal it for other people. I hope that's making sense. Like when you're learning boundaries, a lot of other energies are learning boundaries and you're helping clear that out. When you're, it's really interesting. It's like I'm learning this in this lifetime and I'm clearing it. So while I'm clearing it, I'm going to energetically be there for other souls working through it. Like this person's going through grief, I'm going through grief, I'm going to clear that with me, and while I'm at it and I'm on the subject of grief, I'm going to clear out other people that are grieving too. Take that as it resonates, but that's what I'm getting through with Internal Explorer. I got taken to the subconscious, the lower world, and it's like I'm going through this, but I can see while I'm here in this realm, other people are down here too. Let's help them clear this out too. Then you know what I mean? It's so mission orientated and collective. Like, let's help, let's give, let's nurture. And I see you doing a lot of that in your sleep. I think that's what maybe a lot of your dreams consist of. And sometimes you may not remember the dream, but you wake up tired, and then the next night you wake up full of energy, and it's because you might not have had time to bring that energy back yet and bring, you know, your energy back and alchemize, but the next night you might. You may find throughout the day, like you'll be feeling really fatigued in the morning, and then in the evening you feel brighter, and it's because our souls are multidimensional. I feel like at a certain point in time, like when you wake up in the morning, there could be still something going on with your energy, and then throughout that day you're getting like a retrieval of your energy, and it's being alchemized while you're going about your everyday. You don't realize it because we're all multidimensional. We have a lot of things going on at different times, and then through the evening you're full of energy because it's been returned to you at that point. I hope that makes sense. So I see a lot of that too. Yeah, yours was really deep and went way beyond what I thought it would, but was also extremely beautiful and really beautiful to tap into. Anything else before I go? Spirit guides. There's something about just keeping the water element around you because it helps cleanse your frequency. So you could keep shells around you, have a water cooler or something. What is it called? Like what? You get them little water fountains. You can have them in your room and your home and stuff. Something like that. Or just making sure you keep water around you and be around water. Showers, baths, maybe doing a ritual with that. I think that would really, even sprinkling some water that's blessed, that you've, you know, sent your hearty energy to, sprinkling that over your crown in the morning or something. I'm even being shown your feet, maybe making a circle of water on the floor and stepping into it, and being shown somebody doing that. That would be really good for you guys as well. But I also feel like crystals work really well for you guys specifically, so that's another message coming through. Yeah, so that's what I have for you, pal 3. I really hope that you enjoyed your reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching. And hopefully I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 4, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at what your soul is currently up to at night. Where is your soul going at night? So I'm going to keep it nice and open like I did for the other 3 piles. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle card. So let's get straight in. So pile number 4. What is my pile number 4's souls up to at night? What are my pile number 4's souls up to at night? Tap me into the collective of my pile. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 4. We have the Page of Swords and the King of Cups that just flipped over into my hands. Page of Swords, King of Cups. What are my pile number 4's souls up to at night? Ace of Swords. What am I pile? Oh, Hang on a minute, your card just leaped. Back of the deck, we have the Six of Swords. And the Four of Cups fell on the floor. Okay. Pile number 4, please, Spirit Guides. Tap me into the collective of my pile number 4s. What are my pile number 4s up to at night? Page of Swords, King of Cups, Ace of Swords. First of all, I feel like straight away, it's almost like I'm being plugged back into where I come from, sort of thing. So I feel like you, I'm almost being shown like your soul going into like an incubator. And then it's like your body's hovering, and then I see lights around your body, like dots, like they're like frequencies. Think of like this crystal being in the middle of this geometric shape. So I see that going around your body, and then I see your energy being revitalized and cleansed. It's like being soothed over, it's being held. I feel like that's how you guys energetically get a lot of your energy back. Like I feel like you guys may say to yourself as well, I'll be better once I go to sleep. Like I'll sleep and I'll wake up and I'll be fine, because it's like this inner knowing of like, I'm being cleansed, like this is happening. So while I feel like you're getting soothed and there's a lot of release happening, which is not abnormal for this type of reading, I see the same kind of theme of like a cleansing. I then see you almost kind of like plugging yourself back into your natural frequency before you incarnate. And especially with this King of Swords here and the King of Cups, there's this openness, and it's like not King of Swords, Ace of Swords. There's this openness, and I see a lot of information being revealed to you and a lot of downloads, similar to pile number 2, where they were tapping into their Akashic records and getting a lot of information coming through. I feel like you guys may resonate with that same piece, because I feel like it's kind of the same. I feel like you guys will tune into different frequencies while you're sleeping. It's like you'll download energy from where your soul naturally resides. I don't necessarily see it the same as pile 2, where you're looking into people's Akashic records and your own, but I do see it's like a reboot, it's like a revamp, and there's a lot of, I think that you guys may have like claircognizance where you download a lot of information. I just see it's like water coming towards my crown chakra, and it's all flowing through, and I'm just getting a lot of information. So I feel like you guys may go to sleep, and then you may, like before you go to sleep, decide that tomorrow you want to do X, Y, and Z, and you wake up and you're like, I don't want to do that anymore, because there's like knowledge coming through. It's like something's been tailored in your frequency. You don't want that anymore. Maybe the reason you wanted that was because you took that on from someone and it's been cleansed from you, and you don't want that anymore. I hope that's making sense. Like it's someone else's idea that might have just stuck to you, but it's been cleansed and it's gone. I see so much downloads coming through and information, and as you would like when you're taking downloads in your everyday life, like you may feel a little bit whimsical, and then your ears start to, you know, have that ringing, and it's like a change in frequency, and then you may feel a little bit lightheaded, or like there's a lot of information going on. I see that happening as you're sleeping, which you wouldn't be aware of because you're asleep, but I just see like high pitched frequencies and a lot being downloaded and coming through, which is really, really interesting. You may even wake up and feel hyper focused on a particular chakra. So you could wake up and just be like, today I feel really super grounded and super connected to my root chakra. I feel like everything's very vivid. I'm very focused on the physical. And it's because while you were sleeping, you were downloading a lot of information, and it was being topped up, and it was connected to your root chakra. A lot of information coming through there, clearing going on, healing going on, like an alchemization there. And I see that happening for you guys. And then I see like at other times you'll wake up and you'll feel very whimsical. You might feel a little bit out of body, and you almost feel like you're drifting, and it's because you have an expansion in your crown chakra. But I feel like your expansions happen at night, and then you feel the effect of them in the day. It's really interesting what happens with you guys. It's almost like you go to like, you take your car to like a car wash, and it, you pump the tires up, and you take it, you wash it, and then it's all brand new and it's like upgraded. It's almost like you do that at night. That's something that's coming through really, really strong. And you may get a lot of information about people around you too. Similar to pile number 3, where they'd get little bits of information of where they may have blind spots, so they could like super trust someone and then get information maybe not to trust that person, or they may, you know, someone may have a crush on them and they don't realize it, and then at night they have that dream and they realize that person does. I see a lot of downloads happening like that. So things that you may miss in the waking world, I feel like they start to be revealed to you in your dreamlike state. So you may not realize that someone was making a dig at you. You just completely went over your head, but then at night you have that dream and you're able to really feel that feeling of that person and go, oh, you were making a dig there. And then it's like, you know what I mean? You know to be careful with that person moving forward. Or it could even be that you don't even remember it, but you wake up and you feel like your feelings have changed towards a particular person. And it's because there was information coming through. It could be your guides being like, be careful of this person said this, or trust this person. You know, you might not like somebody, and then you wake up and you feel quite strongly that you do like them, and it's because your guides are like, actually there was actually maybe a projection here, but we've been clearing that at night and now it's gone, so now you're free to like look at this person from a heart space, and now you don't feel that way to that person anymore. So there's a lot of that. I feel like your spirit guides are around you close, and I feel like there's information coming there. But I feel as far as like your psychic gifts and upgrades, I feel like that's coming from your home base. And when I tap into your home base, and remember I'm looking at it with my own 3D set of eyes, but I'm taken to a deep blue lilac-y colour. Think like a lapis lazuli with shades of blue calcite around me. And the reason I'm choosing crystals is it feels crystallized. The energy feels crystallized, and there's, I wouldn't even say water, it almost feels like mist, like condensation. And it's what we would look at as being very connected to the throat, third eye and crown chakra. So it's how would I describe that? I almost feel like I don't physically have a body. And I'm looking around and there's just crystal everywhere, and I feel cleansed, but I'm very aware of everything. I'm almost moving about like a mist. That's where I'm being taken. If that resonates, remember I'm looking at that with my 3D eyes, but that's what I'm being shown. But I see you tapping in and getting bits of information through. I think you're very knowledgeable. I feel like naturally you guys are philosophers. You may be life path 1s, life path 7s, life path 11s, life path 22s, 33s, lots of downloads. You take in a lot. And I think this is the thing, and I think this is why you might miss some things sometimes. You're constantly aware of different realms and you're constantly taking in information. You may constantly be in communication with other realms and spirit, that you take on so much information that sometimes you may miss things that are happening in front of you in the physical. And I think in dream states it's passed on to you, like that person had a crush on you, that person was eyeing you up, that person envied you. And I think at night you may have like a particular dream that reveals something to you, or it's just information being passed down. So the next morning you're like, I don't know if I want to trust this person. There's a reason for that. Your spirit guides are hearing conversations that you might not hear, or your soul, higher self may observe that, and then you remember that then when you wake up on an energy level. I hope that makes sense. But I think that you guys channel a lot naturally. You download information a lot naturally, especially with the sword here, which is like that communicative energy. And then we have clouds here, which is like I can't see clearly. And then we have the crown up top with the head coming off, and it's like the swords coming from it. So you're having it all downloaded. So you definitely get upgraded when you're sleeping. You definitely get cleansed. But if you're wondering why your opinion changes of things when you wake up, your soul knows something that your logical brain might not yet. And your logical brain is reacting to the feeling that your soul's remembering and deciding, I don't know if I trust this person, or I think this person has a crush on me. You know, it kind of feels like that. And again, even with the 4 of Swords, I don't know why I said 6 of Swords. I thought it was the 6, but it's not. It's the 4 of Swords. The head's off again, and there's energy. And like I was saying, mist, it's coming through, and you've got the swords pointing down. It's like there's a lot of information, and I feel like your spirit guides and maybe souls that have crossed over, maybe souls you've had lifetimes with, drop by and pass on information to you as well. Path 4, I see a lot of that. And it may as well be some you download well awake. You bring through information constantly when you're awake. However, there's a lot of noise when you're awake, because I'm being taken to the city here. Because you attach to people's energies, you can connect to people's energies a lot, and you work with that. You may take on opinions that aren't yours. So before you get all of these downloads and your crown chakra's open and there's a lot of information coming through, that's why I was being shown you going into like an incubator where you're being cleansed. Once you're cleansed, that's when the downloads start. Yeah, it's like when I do readings, I have to really get into a space of just being open and receiving, because I channel, I download. I can't go in with my logical ego mind, because then I'm letting my mind dictate things. I have to just be in the state of receiving and let it flow. And if I get upset in the morning, or if I get something take me out of my energy, I can't do this, because it affects me too much, and I can't get information come through properly unless I really cleanse and work through it. So I feel like it's that for you, but at night as well. 100%. And I think as well, when you're going through something and you're releasing maybe a karmic wound, I almost feel like the souls of who may be connected to that wound help bring that information through to help you release too. So similar to Pile 1, you may find that you have dreams where you are playing out a scenario. Let's say you have a dream where you're back in a relationship with that person that hurt you, or someone that has the same energy as that person that hurt you, and a wound is being pit. It's happening so that in the astral realm, that wound is being brought up into your conscious reality, so that when you wake up, you can feel that wound and review it and cleanse it. On top of that, whoever you may have that karmic wound with, if they hold information that can help you heal, you may find that they visit you in dreamlike state and pass on that information. So pay attention when a specific soul says something to you that you remember when you wake up. There's a reason you remembered it, and there's a reason they visited. That's what I'm getting with that 4 of Cups. So I think for some of you guys, it may be similar to Pile 1, where you'll manifest into a astral reality where you play out the same thing, but it's not permanent because it's not in the physical reality, but it still triggers that wound to come up, so you're aware of it in your waking life to cleanse. Or it could be they literally come and pass that information on to you. It wasn't that I didn't like you, I was going through X, Y, and Z. It wasn't that, don't take this to offense, I was just doing this. And may even show you on a frequency or an energy what actually happened, so that you have better insight on it. I feel like you guys may get that, and if you don't remember it, you may just wake up and feel like you're over something because something's been passed through and it's cleared it for you. So much downloads coming through. It's like a filter that just bringing all of the information through. But I do think you're helped to cleanse and release, but I think you guys may be more mentally charged, like airy, like Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. You don't have to be. Your soul energy resonates with that sort of frequency. Like I keep hearing knowledge is power. You get a lot downloaded and brought to you, because I feel like that's how you unhook once you get knowledge on something. Pile number, very different frequency from Pile 3 and Pile 4. It took me a minute to tap in because it is such a different frequency. So I hope I'm explaining everything correctly, because that was a weird frequency shift. Pile 1 and 2, they drifted into each other, and then pile number 3, it just took me somewhere completely different. And with you, you've gone like the opposite end of Pile 3. So it's like, it's a different frequency to bring through. Pile number 4. Crystals, amplification. I said the strong connection to crystals, because that place where you originate from, it's crystallized. It feels, it almost feels like, when ice and like there's like a smoke that comes from the ice, it's like a mist. I don't know what it's called. It's like that. I'm being shown crystals and then that cold energy coming through. Pile number 4. Amplification. And the thing is, crystals hold knowledge, not just to help us heal or connect to a particular frequency, but they also are connected to the frequency of Earth because they come from Earth. So with you guys, I feel like the same way as like a crystal will bring that information to us, I feel like you plug back into your home space, which is coming through crystal eyes, and you bring that information through as you would if you were wearing a crystal, and it would help alter your energy in a particular way. It's like you tap back into your home energy, which allows you to just bring the information through and flow. Pile number 4. Sorry for the noise outside. What are my pile number 4 souls up to at night? Fire, passion. What are my pile number 4 souls up to at night? We have birth, renewal. What are my pile number 4 souls up to at night? Oh my god, your cards are leaping. We have transference at the back of the deck as well, buried in earth. We have East, emergence. Okay, amplification, passion, renewal, and emergence. I feel with the fire and the passion card as well, and I'm looking at the sun here with the East card coming up. I think that you guys, I am taken to like creativity, and you guys, again, it's like revealing things to you, information coming through that kind of inspires you. You know when the sun activates a flower and the flower starts blooming? It's like at night that happens. And I feel like, how do I explain this? With the birth and the renewal as well, and then the emergence, and it's like spring energy. It's like the sun coming out. It's like there's pieces of information planted into you. It's like, you know when you have like a GPS and it's taking you somewhere, but you have to download the map. It's like the map's being downloaded, and then you'll wake up and you'll have this urge to like travel somewhere. You'll have this urge for this business idea, and it's come from the downloads you had at night, and it like ramps you up. That's why I've got the passion card here, and then we have the 2 cards talking about this renewal and this emergence. It's like again, the clearing out and then the download is like you get inspired by it. It's like you're waiting for information on what to do. It's like you're downloading the instruction manual on the jigsaw, and then you get this urge to do it and get the picture at the end. It's like there's a lot of downloads and seeds being planted. So pay attention to your dreams and what you're doing in your dreams. Whether it's you shifting career, whether it's you having a business idea, a hobby even, because that hobby could be a seed or a breadcrumb that leads you somewhere else. Pay attention to these little seeds you get in your dream. If they're telling you to go on holiday somewhere, start a business somewhere, reach out to someone, pay attention to them, because they're like seeds that grow, and they're like bits of information that's being downloaded. Or pay attention to when you wake up and you feel the need to do something. You feel the need to clear out a piece of energy that you feel stuck on, or you feel the need to buy something. It's like, listen to that, because it's almost like little breadcrumbs and instruction manuals to take you where you need to go. That's really interesting, because it's like when I wake up, I don't have the full instruction manual here, but I have the X, Y, and Z, the map. I have, I connect the dots. It's like I have little seeds, and they're there to grow. And there's a message to kind of like follow them. Listen, whenever you get someone come up to you in a dream and say something like, you should do this, or you should do that, or I should get this car, I should do that, I should do that. Listen to that. Or I should be wary of this, I should be wary of that. Listen to that. Your cards are flying about. Lots of instructions and information being downloaded. I'm having trouble understanding it a bit, because with pile 3, I was in this emotional heart space, and now I'm like back to downloading information being passed through, and it's like I forget how to speak it out then. Do you know what I mean? Like that's what I've got. Pile number 4. what am I piling before souls up to at night? But look, she's got the crystal again. Like I was saying about crystal, she's got the crystal at the top of her head, and then the moon here, like the soul star chakra. She's downloading information again, and then look at that in her hands. I think you download information to. It's like, how do I explain this? It's like I'm getting information, and I'm getting healing frequencies coming through. But I also have some topped up in the tank. So you know when you drink a bit of water and then you put some in your water bottle for later? It's like that. And I'm being told you can tune into it later on. How would that even work though? I want to understand how that works so I can make it make sense for you guys. Do you guys scry? I'm being called for you guys, if you, because it's like it's all like, you know when you back up and you log up information onto a computer or something, it's like all of this information, it's still here. So it's like when I'm getting frustrated or I don't know what to do in the waking world, I don't know what to do about money, I don't know what to do about X, Y, and Z, I know I already have the information. So I'm being called for you to get a piece of paper and just start speaking aloud and drawing and see what comes through. Or not even speaking aloud, it could just be like bringing that information through. Some of you guys could be automatic writers as well, but I'm just, you know, when I do like my chakra maps and stuff and I'll just draw, it's like that. It's like I'm drawing what is energy, and it's like I'm bringing that information through. So yeah, that's what I'm being called for you guys to do. They're almost saying like there's something in the tank. I think that's more so a message for you guys, another little bread. Why are they breadcrumbing? It's like I'm giving little bits of information. But even with healing frequencies as well, though, it's like it's in the tank. It's in the tank. I'm like, what does that even mean? It's in the tank. I'm not even getting information. I'm just saying it's all reserved. Like when I'm saying you go into your incubator at night and you get cleansed, there's this feeling, and I'm seeing it with the hand thing as well. It's like it's in the tank. When I'm drained or my energy's depleted in the day, I've got reserves of energy in the tank. You're having healing frequencies downloaded into your energy when you feel like you are drained. Your hands, do you get warm hands? Your hands, imagine all of the energy in your body going into your hands, like your palms, and place your hands around your body, like for a couple of seconds, and imagine that energy filling up those areas of your body and watch your energy return to you. Because it's like a crystal. A crystal will be extremely charged, but then the more energy on it, it loses its frequency because there's so much energy on it, and then you have to cleanse it. It's referencing your body like a crystal, but they're saying that frequency is already around you and you've got reserves in the tank. So try it out, let me know how it goes, come back, leave a comment if it works. But when you're feeling drained, put your hands on certain parts of your body or your energy centers or your chakras. Imagine your energy pouring back through and being shifted and alchemized, and see what happens. Just have a go at that. That was really interesting. I had no idea what they meant straight away. Give that a go. Imagine your body like a crystal and your hands are the moon cleansing it, or your hands are the water, the sea water cleansing it. Imagine, see if your energy comes back to you. Let me know in the comments if you're trying it now. Pile number 4. I had no idea what they meant then. It's in the tank. It's in the tank. I was like, what does that mean? I don't get it. I get it now. Pile number 4. Stepping through. Oh, God. Stepping through. That almost looks like the incubator that I was being shown of you guys being cleansed. And again, a strong emphasis on the crown and the third eye, with it going up here. Stepping through. I feel like this whole reading, it has me thinking. And it's like I have to step back to download the information from each card. It's quite interesting. With the cards stepping through as well, like I was saying, it's reminding me of like an incubator and you guys being cleansed. And again, at night, I just see you guys, it's like a whole ritual. I'm being cleansed. I'm downloading the information that's coming through. If I need an emotion to be triggered out because it's taken my frequency here, there and everywhere, I'm going to maybe have a lucid dream or some sort of dream where that emotion is triggered within me. But other than that, there's a filtering going on, there's a cleansing going on. It's like I'm stepping into this frequency where there's my energy's been shifted. Other people's opinions and thoughts and projections are being taken off me. Other people's energy is being ripped off me. I'm being cleansed. I'm tapping back into my natural frequency. Like that's how it's coming through. And finally, I was talking about the air energy for you guys, because you have the birds up top here as well. I tend to find birds help clear and cleanse our energy from the skies, and that connected to that air energy, that mental energy too. So it's really interesting. In the back of the deck, you literally have reclaim your energy. So that's basically where you're going at night. To reclaim your energy, tap back into your natural frequency and get all the information you basically need. You're being upgraded at night, I feel. Your energy is interesting. It makes me want to do like well, the other one that I was going to do was the Akashic Record reading. So I'll get that up soon, because that was the next one. It'll be interesting to see what else comes through for you guys, because I feel like I'll instinctively know your energy when I tap into it again. That was really interesting what came through. And the way that your soul relates, I have to say that, like, it's very different. I feel like you're very connected to air energy, mental energy, downloading constantly. You're in this state of flow. It's really, really interesting. I'm downloading information I don't even know that I know yet. Do you see how, like, when with the hands and putting the hands on the body, like, I didn't get it, but I knew that there was a message there, and then a minute later I was like, oh, I get it. It was being downloaded, but my brain hadn't caught up yet. I think that's the way that you move sometimes. I think that if you do work with spirit, I think what would work for you guys is definitely like working alone to a degree, because I think that you need your own frequency to bring things through. But it's almost like you know, when you think of people like Rumi, and they'd probably be in a room by themselves and they'd write and they'd draw and they'd, you know, Nostradamus, and they'd, you know, it is like a prophet of some sort, and they just bring the information through and write it. It feels like that for you guys. It's like a philosopher of sorts, and you're just bringing bits of information through. It's really interesting, but I feel like you do it at night a lot. Lots of information coming in. Really cool. So powerful. That is what I have for you guys. I really hope this resonated. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.